That's a cool intro, right?
And then
Right, that was interesting, interesting
Yeah.
project.
We kind of wanted it that way. Yeah.
I wanted it in a way where nobody knew what we were playing.
I'm pretty sure, like, for half of it, nobody really.
I hope so. I hope it made people happy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny that I had asked you guys to play that song because it's like I've always, or, you know, previously I've thought down on boy bands. But yeah, I was watching this Netflix documentary on pop, and like it's talking about this Swedish producer that's made all kinds of hits, and like at some point I just remember them having like a kind of slow piano version of that in the background. I was like, oh man, that's so nice. Like I forgot how nice it was. But you know, the fact that I can ask you guys to learn something, and you guys showed up today, you know, with no idea, and
As
I don't
usual.
Yeah, isn't that every Thursday?
you know, I know it gets kind of like hard to explain the kind of maybe relative pitch memory you guys have and all those kind of things. But like, can you talk a little bit about how you get into a song when you're trying to figure it out?
Yeah, so one of the tips, this is actually from Aaron, and he was saying, he's like, you can take 4 notes of a melody in a song, and you can, from those 4 notes, you should be able to tell what key you're in at least. So what I like to do is if there's any singing involved, I like to find what pitch, or, you know, find those 3 notes, because those 3 notes are going to be like the indicator. It's going to get you somewhere. It's not going to get you knowing all the chords and the exact key, but if you can get 3 of the melody notes in any part of the song, you can figure it out. That's where I usually hear it from, before figuring out chords and stuff, and figuring out the chord progression, because it follows, pop songs kind of follow the same structure in a way. Like,
Does that
not a lot
hold
of curveballs.
true with this song? I mean,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
just a straight chord.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, would you really not go for the chords first?
Well, for example, it's like if my ear wasn't trained well enough, or I haven't been training it long enough to recognize chords and chords names and where it is on my ukulele, I'll start with, you know, where Corey was.
Because right there,
suggesting.
instantly, you know, oh, this is a key.
Finding out notes is one way to figure out what key you're in. And sometimes those notes might be the notes within the chords that are being played during the rhythm section. And that can also lead to helping you figure out the chords eventually.
Yeah, because, you know, if you know it's in A, you know, oh, there's D, E7,
Yeah.
right? It's like, oh, okay, there's all these chords in there. There's all the possible chords I can play. So I know from there, as long as you know what key it's in and you know your chord progressions, the pop chord progressions, then you're good. So after, you know, the intro, those 3 chord
Yeah. What's cool
progressions,
about
play
that is that like one of the notes that you'd probably want to play is actually an open string within almost all the chords you're playing in that song.
Yeah.
It's this note is present.
Yeah, so
and
you know,
then-
oh, there's an A in there.
Yeah, so you know, like, okay, there's an A. Even when you switch to like from the F sharp minor to like a D, that A is still present.
Yeah.
And then when you go to an A, that A is still present. So that's one of the things that you can do to figure out what key it's in. Because if a note appears multiple times, the same note appears multiple times throughout the song, especially in the chord progressions, there might be a chance that that's the key you're in.
Yeah, so right there from A,
Yeah.
just playing that can go, you know, you start stacking, seeing which ones are,
Yeah.
from there you're like, oh, this could, because this could go from E flat or to, actually, you know, knowing these 3 notes, you kind of narrow it down. Oh, okay, it could be in either D or A. I don't know.
Yeah, and one of the
You
cool
find
things
one
about
percent.
that is too is that you're learning all the notes on that string.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like where scales kind of comes into play. It's good to memorize, all these scale patterns. But one of the things that helped me was learning all the notes on each string individually. And I would just, maybe focus on learning the notes on one string for 6 months straight. And then once I can kind of name everything off of that, then I'll go into the next string. And then
Like a good point Andrew made earlier. Like for me, I guess the way people approach it is different because they want to, they memorize it in which notes are being played, like the names of the notes.
Yeah.
A. Whereas all we think of are what are the
Pitches.
intervals.
Yeah. We're thinking about like pitches, harmony, and then also like after a while of playing music for so long, you end up recognizing
Things
some of-
become automatic. and
yeah,
more natural,
things
right?
become more automatic, more natural, and be more recognizable.
Yeah.
And if you're just a beginner and you're trying to learn, how to dissect songs and figure it out, arrange stuff like how Corey and I are doing, it probably might take a couple of years for your ears to develop that memory, right?
Yeah. But it's also very important to know and do scales.
Yeah.
Like just knowing scales, that's like the most boring part
Mm-hmm.
of music. I thought it was fun. I would play scales all day.
I thought scales were cool.
Yeah.
But then, like, most people end up focusing more on what the notes are called rather than how they sound.
Yeah, and where to put your fingers,
Yeah.
how they sound, and where to put them. Like that's like the two. Don't worry about the names, right? Just know. Okay, this is G. These are all the notes around G.
Like, in the beginning, sometimes, like, knowing the names will, make it easier for you to map out things. But most times, it's better to memorize scales in, like, steps and patterns rather than just the
Note
note
names,
names. It's more useful in that way. So
I don't know anybody that.
I forgot who said it, but there was, it's one of the jazz greats, but he said, like, learn everything and then forget it. Like, eventually you get to a place to where you can forget it and just play. But I mean, there's utility in actually learning all of the
Yeah.
notes and all that kind of stuff, right? But
Because,
I
like,
would-
scales and exercises are basically just guidelines.
It's
to
not only for
put you-
like the
point you in
physical
the right
practice,
direction.
but
Yeah.
But
know where the notes are.
once you
and-
find the key, it kind of informs like your chord options too. Like you
Yeah.
kind of hear where they're
Yeah.
going with that because it's within certain.
Yeah, because you know that if you're in A, you already know those chords. The 1, 4, 5
Yeah.
typical
Mhm.
chord.
When they step
Yeah.
outside of that, it kind of alarms your ear.
And I was like, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's somewhere else.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Talk
like-
talk more about that. Like, I mean, because I bet there's not one way you guys figure out stuff.
That's really the only way I figure things.
Well,
Oh, really? You find the melody first, and
I find the key. That's the way I find the key
Oh,
of the
okay,
song.
okay.
Is by,
and
by
then
just,
from there mapping out the chords.
just knowing. Oh, once I have the key established, I already know. I just have to listen to the direction of the chord progression.
yeah. Because, like, figuring out the key, I mean, that is the key to figuring out the song, is figuring out the key of the song.
The key is the key.
Wait, when you're figuring out the key, do you sometimes just start noodling in that key and just
Yeah.
making sure, right?
Sometimes I will. Sometimes I'll just, like, do what we were just talking about earlier, was just, like, on the A string, just kind of find out, which note matches most with what is being played. Most times it will be the key of the song.
You can kind of like wander a little bit and see what works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you can sing it in pitch, you just try to mimic. I guess those notes that you sing out the notes and you match it.
Oh,
with it, right?
here's a good one. Do you guys ever just sing out scale, like sing along with like your solos when you're practicing and stuff like that, or?
I try to be fancy and cool. Like
I've
the
done
jazz
it a
guys.
little bit.
Yeah, see, it's already off. Yeah, I try to be a what is his name? Raul.
Row. It's all-
Not for performance stuff though, but just to kind of like imprint it in your mind of what those intervals sound like. You know,
Yeah.
this is what
I mean,
one step is.
That's a great way to practice too, because for some people who are looking into getting to improvising, you think of improvising on an instrument as if you're, telling a story. But also, I've noticed that kind of singing along with practicing soloing actually makes the solo sound more like a song.
And it feels good.
And it feels good.
Really good.
It makes more sense, And it sounds good too. I mean, that's one of the things I always tell people. If it sounds good to you, it's just keep it. That's one of the things I like to do.
One thing singing along kind of does is it makes it all intentional. There's kind of like no BS runs in there because you're matching it along with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, vocal chords and hitting notes is a kind of a different thing too.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I mean, vocals, it's like that's beyond me.
Yeah, I don't really go into that realm too far. Yeah, so we got in a batch of these HF3D2I Kamakas, and we got a couple Koa, Cedar, and Spruce. Some of them are already sold, but we thought we would give a little sample on each. So because we had 2 of each, we put the KoAloha Fluorocarbon low G set as an alternative kind of listen on each of them, so you can hear 3 different woods with 2 different string sets each. And so I want to get both of you guys to do something, under a minute, like 30-ish seconds to maybe a minute at the most. Same thing on all 6 of these.
Okay.
Remember what you're doing. Okay, so 3 of the most popular soundboards, a couple of the most popular string choices. Give you guys thoughts.
I was really surprised at the warmth of the spruce top. I expected it to be a lot more brighter and kind of. There's a lot of depth, really good sustain, but hearing the where is it? Yeah, the cedar top low G. It sounded like a guitar almost. That is rich. Full,
Yeah.
definitely
Full of sustain.
my winner right here.
I don't know. I think if like the batch we did tonight, that is definitely.
I mean, that one sounds good for all Koa too.
Yeah, I mean this is great because I like the warmth.
It has a lot of warmth.
strings
it would have
really
to be
bring
these
out
two.
the koa.
Yeah, the Koa one sounds good.
Yeah, it's really warm, and I think like the strings add a little bit more like definition to the overall sound. But it's really good. I mean, but dang, the cedar's out.
I mean, I like the spruce too. It has like all of that with some sparkle. It's just like
Yeah.
the cedar has like a little bit more body to it, or
It's like
something.
really
Yeah.
warm and a little bit on the boomier side as far as volume.
Yeah.
So these higher end kamakas like this they're mostly the same, but then there's some design features that you don't really see and they don't really talk about, like that they notch out along the edge.
All right underneath here, yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Right
like
under the fretboard. I mean, soundboard.
I think that's like kind of a Casey Kamaka custom design thing that made its way over to the kind of more deluxe models from them. And so even though their stock models sound awesome, you know, really great, especially when you find the right string set that you really love with them, and even give it some time for that wood to break in a little bit. But these almost sound broken in already. You know, they sound like high-end instrument. I mean, you know, you're paying for it, but yeah, I think you get your money's worth with the tone on these guys.
The Koa on this one's, I mean, all of them are really nice. I like that dark Koa that you use on the higher end stuff. Just, it's really curly too. When you look different parts of the light.
I like the sapwood in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see it. The top and back are nice and curly.
Yeah.
Like this one has a little bit of curl in the back, but it's more of like a lighter.
Blonde figure.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about Koa is that it has so much like different tones, like as far as like color goes, and yeah, these are great ukes.
You know how earlier we were talking about you know, you guys figuring out a song? You know what we didn't really touch on? It's like once you guys kind of like find the melody and chords and stuff, there's a like you have to kind of make it your own or make an arrangement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you could spend like many hours just playing around with ideas.
Yeah.
Like for that that incredible Backstreet Boys song you guys played, like try do something that's like almost entirely different in arrangement.
But
Is
same
that-
song?
Yeah.
Huh.
That just sounds like message in a bottle.
Or you can do
Oh yeah, it's like,
can do our own. How about like, how would you interpret the song if you were to play it solo? Like that's something cool, you know, and different.
I mean, I would play it as close as possible
To like the
the
original,
original.
or what if you were to like change it up? What would you do?
like the way we played it. Um, yeah, something like that.
Because I would probably do stuff like. You
Oh,
know?
you gotta play it on high G, yeah.
You know, and then I would probably.
Yeah. The dissonant. Thinking of like if I play it would be uh and then whatever it is, and then I would just try to incorporate the rhythm strumming into what's the chords? Just straightforward, just the original. I like playing things as original as possible.
Wow.
Yeah, like just everything.
I'd like to like
Same
add a
key,
little
too.
bit of like funky blues. I think, like if I were to go ahead and do my own take, kind of like what we were doing earlier when we were kind of like just jamming on it, like
Yeah.
then
I think it sounds better in high G. Because then there's when you do that kind of finger picking, it just I don't know, it rings better.
yeah,
Like so it's good with low G is you can do all the chord voicings.
well, and also you can play it in the correct intervals too if you want it. Like
Yeah.
this would be like a correct A,
Yeah.
you know, A C sharp E.
I like doing that, like starting. It depends, because that's where it gets tricky, the placement of the bass notes and what you're playing, what key you're playing, because
Yeah.
it might not work. I like to do like if it's.
That's really cool because like you're keeping like as much open strings and kind of sticking to more towards like a campanella approach.
Yeah.
Ish, you know. A lot of people
keep going.
they don't know that if you play that part and I play that part, even though they're so different from how, you know, like if I'm doing something that's different from you, it's basically the same chords, but we're playing it in different positions. So that's like another thing that like I think that's really important when it comes to arranging or dissecting a song is knowing your options and where they are, and being creative. You know, because like
Yeah, you guys are good at finding your own space, doing things that would be redundant in the same position, right?
It's hard too sometimes. It's like I like this spread out.
Yeah, because you get a nice full chord.
Yeah. You know, but for some people, this actually really hurts their fingers. So there's other ways of doing it. You know, you can do closed version. You know, kind of what you were doing.
Yeah.
You can do the jazz version. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
When you're in the key of A, you know you can leave the top two strings open too, right? At a lot of
Yeah,
times.
you could. Like instead of using like a normal D, I like adding
Yeah.
that E natural in there.
Is that like a sus?
Kind of. It's like a suspended ninth or fourth, or no, it's a ninth because
Sus
it's
two.
an E.
Hey, can you guys figure out this song?
That's in G, eh? Yeah, see right there, like just knowing those without knowing that chord progression from the beginning.
Finding the melody.
Right there,
What
You
also
already know,
too
like, oh,
is
that's
just
it.
like that's in the chord, but it doesn't sound correct. And that's like another example of like playing like single notes on the string.
yeah. So, what's the intro? Da, 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 da. Like knowing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like,
think
oh.
that's where how most people would
You're like,
probably play it.
Outlining that chord, you know, it's at least a G or something
Yeah.
dealing with an E minor.
So you know the melody is probably going to be around the notes that are in that chord. If
But then
not,
there's
it
still-
could be the melody could be one of the notes in that chord.
Yeah,
as well.
they could change it up, and you can be like, oh no, we're actually in D, because you don't know what's beyond this, right? Because then
Yeah.
it could still go.
Mm-hmm. It could, yeah.
But and then what's after it? You. And then figuring out the chords, you already know in G. You know, one thing that helped me figure out what chords are in the chord or that key was this exercise I gotta show you. Aaron showed me on guitar, and this like helped me figure everything out. So, you know how you take the do re mi fa sol la ti do. So, there's a pattern to playing those notes as chords when you want to play up the neck. So instead of just playing single notes, you're gonna put those in chords. That's what it looks like in chords. There's a pattern. It goes major shape, minor shape, minor shape. I mean, that's how it goes just in the major scale, right?
Major, minor, minor.
Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, seventh or whatever, and then
Diminished.
Diminished. Seven.
diminished. Is that diminished?
It would be like
No, because it's
it would be this.
because this isn't diminished though. Like these. Because it would have to be this shape.
Because you have the F sharp, right?
Yeah. But then,
You could.
I mean, yeah, I guess it could be diminished. But if you play, let's try it. You have regular 7. Anyways, so for G, it's G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, D7, I guess. Those are the chords you play all the way up the neck. And how that helped me was those are all the chords that's in the chord progression. Any chord progression in G, usually. There's all those chords are in there.
Well, same thing with like any other key out there too.
Yeah, because you can go in A, you just follow the same pattern up. So that helped me out a lot, figuring out chord
Great
progressions.
songs break those rules all the time, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a good kind of thing to. You can count on it a lot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You can, and then also knowing like the chords that would be in the relative minor, you know, remembering them in that type of order too, because sometimes in songs like they'll go between major and minor, and sometimes the chord progression would be in reverse.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Like,
that's the cool thing about music.
This one doesn't really follow a standard chord progression. It goes from G, it just goes G, A minor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there goes B minor. No, not B minor. Yeah, B minor.
It's still all G major though. Huh?
I forgot what's after that, but it's all, you know, usually you would hear chord progressions go like this. Kind of. You know, it fits that kind of song, but that's what I like about it. It's different. Even the rhythm is just. And then this melody. That's cool. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, and then throws in that chord progression from the beginning a little bit.
Kalei's just gonna play the chords and you're gonna do the melody on it?
I was trying to make sure I get the right chords.
I like that way of playing the melody. All right, so Corey went and picked up some KoAloha mangoes last night. I don't know if we've done it, but let's get a back-to-back on the stock KoAloha set and the Uke Logic soft tension. Both all fluorocarbon low G.
And then there's 2 more mangoes, right? Or did you take one down to the store?
One sold earlier today.
You guys do one of them?
We did both.
Oh.
Was there anything else you wanted to do?
I had to use the bathroom. I missed it. What did you think, Kalei?
They both sound really nice. Warm. I mean, the mango line from KoAloha has been one of my favorites from them. And
Is that Corey's stomach again?
Yeah.
Feed me.
feed me. It's like Jack in a Box is called.
It is.
Oh, you guys. That's...
I'm gonna get that dirty cheeseburger.
Oh.
All right, so maybe we can close out. You guys can play something together on both of the mangoes, and then just a little bit of news. Tomorrow, Ian O'Sullivan's gonna come by, and I'm gonna record some ukulele lessons with him. So you guys saw him on last week's podcast. Incredible musician, incredible instructor, and so for members, there's gonna be some lessons coming up exclusive. From Ian, which is really exciting, and we're gonna keep adding to that section. Hopefully we'll get a little mini concert up soon there for members from Corey and Kalei too, but until then we got our podcasts each week, so you guys can jam us out with something, and mahalo you guys. See you soon.
So here's a kind of more of like a Hawaiian sounding sound. This will actually incorporate a lot of the chords and the chord progression that is commonly used in a lot of Hawaiian music and pieces. We're going to be playing in the key of C. So in the beginning, we're going to be playing a C vamp in the key of C, which incorporates the D7, your G7, and your C major. It goes like this. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and... back to C, C7, now we're going to go to F, back to C, yeah, keep going, C, and D7, the primary chords that we're going to be using. So Corey and I, we might change up the rhythm a little bit. We might switch from one chord to the next chord faster, but pay attention. This is where ear training and being aware of what's musically happening, whether if it's rhythmically, chord changes, or melody wise. So follow along, join us. All right, Corey.
That was the what song in specific was that?
It was almost like playing Noho Pai Pai. It was also the same chords that's in Hene Hene Ko'aka.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's right.
except there's more sevenths in there. But yeah, that's kind of like the basic of the chords that's used in a traditional Hawaiian song. Sometimes there will be 4 chords, sometimes there's even 2. So have fun, enjoy playing the ukulele, and we'll see you again next time. Take care. Aloha.